The HTC One M8 is finally here, and if you're sitting there wondering, hey, what makes the HTC One M8 different from the HTC One M7, then you're in the right place. Hey, what's up guys, my name is Corey and welcome to my comparison of the HTC One M8 versus the HTC One M7. So let's start this off with the build quality. Now, HTC was awarded for the best built device of 2013, and I'm sure no one can argue with that. With a brushed aluminium finish and the front-facing boom sound speaker, the device stood out from the crowd. Knowing that the overall design was loved by everyone, of course HTC continued with this premium build quality with the M8. Other than the color, the main difference between the two in terms of the build quality is the size, the weight and the overall layout of some of the ports. The M7 weighs in at 143 grams and is 9.3 millimeters thick, while the M8 weighs in at 160 grams and is 9.4 millimeters thick, so the M8 will be slightly heavier, but it won't be anything noticeable. The boom sound speakers are still featured on the new M8 and it looks great. Looking around both phones, on the right hand side is where you find the volume rocker, and also now on the HTC One M8 you also find your micro SD card slot as well, which does support up to 128 gig. On the left hand side is where you find the SIM trays, and as you guys all know, the HTC One M7 supports a micro SIM, whereas the HTC One M8 now supports nano SIMs like the iPhone 5S's. At the front, of course, as I said, you have the boom sound speakers at the top and at the bottom, and the front facing cameras as well. Then at the back we have the cameras. Well, on the HTC One M8 now you have two cameras and a dual LED flash. So in terms of the build quality, they're the best premium looking phones I've come across in a long while. The HTC One M7 still looks good and still puts a lot of phone to shame even nowadays. So in terms of the build quality, you are going to get a very premium looking phone. They both feel really nice in the hand, especially the M8 because it's now rounded off in terms of the edges and it just feels very nice when you're holding it in the hand. Also forgot to mention as well, at the bottom of both devices you find the micro USB port and the 3.5mm headphone jack on the M8 and the 3.5mm jack on the M7 at the top. So in terms of the build quality, they are both very good phones and two of the best that you're going to find out there on the market right now. When it comes to the display, you also find some differences. You still get that bright and sharp full 1080p screen popping at you, but the M7 features a 4.7 inch Super LCD display with the PPI at 469 and the Corning Gorilla Glass 2 for screen protection. In the other hand, the M8 features a 5 inch Super LCD display with the PPI at 441 and the Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for screen protection. So nothing noticeable between them in the display aspect. You still find the same 1080p experience with a more up-to-date screen protector on the M8, and also the PPI is slightly higher on the M7 due to the size. Performance is well improved with a more up-to-date, battery-sufficient processor. The M8 is one of the best devices you'll pick up this year. The M7, as you know, it features the Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 quad-core processor, clocked in at 1.7 GHz with 2 GB of RAM and the Adreno 320 GPU. The M8 is a lot faster and can handle anything thrown at it. It features the Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor, clocked at 2.5 GHz, almost as fast as my iMac, with 2 GB of RAM and a more up-to-date Adreno 330 GPU. Using the M8 for the few days that I've had it, I can see that the phone is very responsive when navigating around the phone, taking pictures, opening and closing apps. It performs like a monster. Playing games, I haven't had no point where the phone has frozen on me or anything, so the M8 performs like a beast, and also it's very battery sufficient as well. Saying that though, the M7 is still one of the best performing devices that you're going to find out there on the market right now. My partner's actually using the M7 and there's no problem in terms of the performance. So if you're looking to get any of these phones based on the performance, I would tell you to go for the M8 because it's slightly better, but at the same time, if you can't afford to get the M8, the M7 is still a boss. It still performs like a beast. Last but not least is the camera. Now in terms of the camera, HTC has used the same 4 ultra-pixel sensor which was first found on the M7. They've continued with this, and they've also added an extra lens for you to use to manipulate your photos with. Now this comes in handy when you're using filters or effects such as U-focus, which allows you to take a photo and then focus on that photo and have the background blurred out. This feature is very handy, and that's something that I really like. One of the main improvements with the camera though is actually the front facing camera. The HTC One M7, as you know, has a 2.2 megapixel front facing camera, whereas the HTC One M8 now features a 5 megapixel camera which records at full HD. If you want to know the quality of the front facing camera or even the rear camera, there should be a video on my channel for you to go and check out. But here are some pictures that I did take with both devices. Let me know which one you think looks good, or if you do see any differences between them, let me know. So there you have it, you guys, a quick comparison between the HTC One M7 versus the HTC One M8. Let me know what you guys think of both of these devices. Let me know what you think of the new HTC One M8, and also let me know which phones you like to see me compare it with in the future. Anyway guys, I hope you guys all have a good day, and I hope you do enjoy this video. Feel free to share it. Follow me on Twitter at ArksCorey, follow me on Instagram at ArksCorey, and follow me on G+ as well at ArksCorey, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!